Hi and good morning to everyone and to our beloved lecturer Ms. Razia. My name is Ashifa Shahani binti Muhammad Warusai. Today I'm going to present my case study. The case that I have been chosen for my case study is the non-promotion of mechanic. So first of all, we're going to move on to the table of content. The table of content, there are three parts that we're going to discuss. The first part will be the summary of case study. The second part is about the content, argument and discussion of the case study. And the last one is the explanation or justification based on fact how the company should rule this case. So move on to the first part, summary of case study. What happened was, as the title, the mechanics in the organization has been conducted a bit on promotional opportunity for the technician position, and there are two names that has been mentioned in the case study. The first one was Calvin C. Cox, who's the most senior employee in the organization, which has been working for 6 years, and also the second one is Charles D. Bixby. He's the second most senior for the mechanic position, and the company. What happened is the company has clearly stated the requirements and procedure for an employee to be gained in order to be promoted. The first one is the 2 years of working experience in the organization. The mechanic, the employee in mechanic position, they should be working for 2 years in the company in order to be promoted for the technician position, and they should also have the good skill knowledge and training in construction and maintenance in the organization. And what happened is, whenever another thing that had been mentioned by company was, for the employee with the sufficient qualification, the company will provide with 90 days of trial period in order to evaluate them to be in the position of technician. And what happened was, the company offered the technician position to Bixby, who's the second most senior, and not to the first most senior, Cox. The union, in this case, the union argued the company to provide the 90 days of trial period for Cox, the first most senior, because he has all the qualification and sufficient qualification in order to be promoted, and he was not being promoted. And in the other hand, the company has argued the Mr. Cox, he is not in the opinion of the organization in order to be promoted for a technician position. Meanwhile, Bixby, he has company has evaluated that he has all the talent to manage the customers and also to satisfy the employers in the organization. So in this case, they consider the talent of Bixby and promote him. And the company also has mentioned that by based on the article 6.6, company has clearly mentioned that company has rights to judge the employee's qualification. So based on this, they make the decision to not select the first most senior and select the second most senior in order to be promoted. Move on to the second part, the content, argument and discussion part. What happened? The argument of the case study was about the employee bid for the opportunity for technician position for the to be provided for the most senior, and the union argued that the action that has been taken by the company was against the rules of labor agreement, because they has clearly stated all the requirements for an employee to be promoted, and they are like ignoring that and not following the rule actually. So in the position of union, the company has conducted a contractual violation, and by based on article 6, point number 6.5, the company has clearly stated all the requirements in order for an employee to be promoted for that particular position. And the company also stated that the 90 days of trial will be provided for the qualified employees with the sufficient qualification. And in other hand, in the position of the company again has justified that Mr. Cox was the most senior. He was not in the company's opinion to be promoted for technician. This person was been working in the organization for 6 years, and the company know how, like, companies know how he's performing, and they are not taking him into the consideration to be promoted. And based on article 6 again, 6.6 again, the company stated that the company has right to judge the employee's qualification. Based on this, they did not provide the 90 days of trial period for courts. And finally, explanation and justification based on fact. In this case, in my point of view, the company should provide the 90 days of trial to the most senior in order to be promoted. This is why, because if they did not give the opportunity for the most senior, the other employee, it will affect the other employees in the organization. It will create an issue among them, because they will think that they are not being motivated, because they are working in a longer period for the company, but there's still no chance for them to being promoted. So whenever the company take a decision to not promote the senior but promoted the second senior or something, it shows that the company are not following the rule by based on how they has mentioned. And the action that has been taken by the company has literally created an issues among the company's employee and toward the company. By based on this article 6.6, there is another point that has company mentioned, which is the company shall exercise the authority of judging qualification subject to appeal by union through regular grievance procedure. That means they should take into consideration what has been argued by the union. So union just asked the company to provide the 90 days of trial in order to evaluate the qualification and the talent of the employee before take any other action and solve the conflict. And by based on the case of Karam Chand versus Haryana State Electricity Board, the same problem has occurred in the organization and by the employee. What happened was the company did not follow the proper procedure to promote the employees. So in this case, the employees and the organization went to the court and argued that the company are not following the procedure. And what happened was the high court give the judgment and order the company to temporarily promote all these employees and give them time and evaluate them. So by based on this case, the company what should do was uh, the company should provide the 90 days trial for the most senior and evaluate him, then make any other decision in order to not create an issues among the employees and also the organization. That's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.